grateful to others. As we celebrate this Christmas morning, as we enjoy the food, the family, the decorations, the fellowship, let's not forget that Jesus is the reason for the season. And as his hands and feet in the earth, we are to go about doing good acts of kindness to remind people to give glory to God. Until we speak again, my friends, be blessed. Hi, friends. E.C. Maltby here, Senior Pastor of the True Holiness Saints Center in the beautiful city of Conway, Arkansas. And you know what time it is. It is Wednesday Word time. But right before I go to the Wednesday Word, I want to wish each of you a very prosperous and productive new year. So what is our Wednesday Word for tonight? Our Wednesday Word is speak. And as we begin a promising and exciting new year, I want to remind each of you how important it is to be intentional about the words that you speak. When we begin to think about speech, I can't help but think about the most famous verse in the Bible concerning our speech. King Solomon says these words in Proverbs chapter 18 and verse 21. The King James Version says, "Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof. And they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof." Let me give you our social media quote for tonight. I think it'll set the tone for our entire message. Here it is. What you speak, you will eat. Don't ever forget that. In 2023 and beyond, what you speak, you will eat. In other words, what you say, the things that come out of your mouth, help to steer the direction of your life. I heard somebody say it like this one time. Whenever you speak, you are prophesying your own future. What you speak, you will eat. It will help to steer the very direction of your life. So therefore, ma'ams and sirs, it is critically important that we watch our mouths, that we are always mindful about the things that we say. Because the truth of the matter is this: if we choose to be a negative person in 2023, a person that always speaks gloom, doom, doubt, and defeat, that's exactly what our lives will produce in 2023. But on the other end of the spectrum, if we choose to be positive people who speak words of encouragement, faith, and victorious living, that's what we will produce in the atmosphere. Here's what I know for sure. The words that you speak, you give the spirit world the right to act upon those words. So in 2023, ma'ams and sirs, please watch what you speak, because those words will help determine the direction of your very life. So here's what I want to do tonight. I simply want to give you 3 things that you should take out of your vocabulary. Or in other words, I want to give you 3 times that you should choose to remain silent. 3 times in 2023 when you should choose to remain silent. Point number 1 is simply this: don't speak out of fear. Hear me, church. Don't speak out of fear. The best example I can give you of this is the children of Israel. When God was preparing them to enter the promised land, they sent out 12 spies to go out to explore the land. And after they finished exploring the land, they came back and gave a report. The minority, Caleb and Joshua, gave a positive report. But the majority of the spies, 10 of those, spoke out of fear. And it's recorded in Numbers chapter 13, verse 31 and 32. Here's what it says. But the men who had gone up with him said, we can't attack those people. They are stronger than we are. Verse 32. And they spread among the Israelites a bad report about the land they had explored. Always remember, when you speak out of fear, negativity spreads like wildfire. When you speak out of fear, it takes away people's confidence. When you speak out of fear, you lose your drive to pursue your goals. Church, never speak out of fear, because fear paralyzes people. Fear stops our forward mobility. Fear can stop us right in our tracks. So before you say or co-sign on anything that contradicts the word of the Lord, stop and think. Again, I want to remind you, the words you speak, you give the spirit world the right to act on them. And this is exactly what happened to the children of Israel. 10 spies spoke out of fear. And the whole company, the whole nation of Israel co-signed on those fears. And for that reason, they missed the promised land. I don't want you to be like the children of Israel in 2023, because you're speaking out of fear, because you're speaking things contradictory of the word of God, because you co-sign on what your mama and them said and what you read on social media and what you heard in the news. Anything that contradicts the word of the Lord, don't co-sign, or you'll be just like the children of Israel. They didn't see the giants for themselves. They just co-signed on what other people said. And the truth of the matter is, many of us are speaking out of fear, not out of experience, but because somebody else told us how bad it is. If you want to be successful in 2023, number one, never speak out of fear. But then secondly, if you want to reach your goals and your aspirations in 2023, don't speak out of frustration. Yeah, we don't speak out of fear, but secondly, we don't speak out of frustration. Proverbs goes on to say, King Solomon goes on to say in Proverbs 14 and 29, whoever is patient has great understanding, but one who is quick-tempered displays folly. A person who is quick-tempered displays folly. Hear me, church. In 2023, we have got to completely eliminate angry outbursts from our vocabulary. For example, for far too long, many of us have been getting mad, blowing up, going off on people, then somehow expecting things to go back to normal when we finally decide to calm down. But the truth of the matter is this: angry outbursts have consequences. You cannot continue to speak out of anger and expect positive things to happen in your life. Because when you speak out of anger, whether you know it or not, you are straining your relationship with people. When you speak out of anger, whether you know it or not, you begin to affect how people feel about you. And you begin to You can even begin to mess with their mind and their self-esteem. When you get angry, stop talking. When you get angry, go somewhere and be quiet, because you don't want to speak out of frustration, because your words have creative power. And you don't know how you affect somebody's self-esteem. And you don't know how you affect the world in a negative manner. And you don't know how you begin to destroy the fruit of your own labor. When you are angry, don't say a word. If there's one thing you can eliminate, if it's one thing you can add to your list of goals and your New Year's resolutions, is to eliminate angry outbursts from your vocabulary. Because you don't want to be known as the person that ruins the atmosphere when you come around. Never speak, my friends, out of frustration. When you get angry, be silent. Never speak out of fear. And here's the last one tonight. Do not speak out of folly. Don't speak out of folly. Folly. What does that mean, Pastor Malbia? The word folly can easily be defined as a state of being foolish or a lack of understanding. See, folly suggests to us that a person is speaking nonsense. Folly suggests to us that a person has a ridiculous idea. Don't speak out of folly. The best example of a person speaking out of folly that I've ever read in the Bible is found in the book of Job, chapter 2. In Job chapter 2, Job has gone through a series of bad days. He had gone through a series of challenging things that happened in his life. In Job chapter 2, verse 9 and 10, his wife said to him, "Are you still maintaining your integrity? Curse God and die." Verse 10, Job replied, "You talking like a foolish woman. Shall we accept good from God and not trouble?" In all of this, Job did not sin in what he said. Always remember, our salvation, our level of faith, and the amount of time that we spend in fervent, heartfelt prayer, none of those things make us immune to trouble. Jesus even says in John chapter 16, around verse 33, Jesus reminds us that in this world you will have troubles. But be glad, because I've overcome the world. Here's what I know for sure, and maybe I ought to remind you of this. Just because Jesus is on your ship doesn't mean you won't have stormy seas. Yeah. Just because Jesus is on your ship, it doesn't mean you won't have stormy seas. In the Gospels is recorded of Jesus being asleep down in the bottom of the ship, and a great storm came. Just because you have salvation, just because you're a good Christian, doesn't mean you won't have troubles. But the difference is you've got the problem solver on your side. Jesus says, "I will be with you always." He says, "I'll never leave you nor forsake you." And the reality of the matter is this: I'm believing God for 2023 to be a prosperous year. But somewhere there will be some highs and lows, and somewhere there will be some challenges. And what you've got to make sure you do, that in the challenging times of your life, whether it is a moment of challenge or a season of challenge. In the most trying times of your life, you've got to watch what you speak. Don't speak nonsense. Don't speak ridiculous things. It is ridiculous to say that because you saved, you shouldn't have troubles. It is ridiculous to say that the enemy is winning. It is ridiculous to say that God is not on the throne. So what the devil will try to get you to do is start talking about, man, things are so bad. Maybe I ought to reconsider my Christian commitment. Things are so bad. Maybe I shouldn't pray as much. Things are so bad. Maybe I shouldn't go to church as much. Well, just like Job's wife, you are talking foolish. These are the times that you commit yourself more to God. These are the times that you activate your faith. These are the times that you remind yourself that you're the head and not the tail. These are the times that you remind yourself that you can do all things through Christ that gives you strength. These are the times like Job that you testify, though he slay me, yet will I trust in him. When tears are coming down your eyes, these are the times you say, yes, weeping may endure for a night, but God's precious joy returns in the morning. Our Wednesday word is the word speak. Don't you dare speak out of fear. Don't you dare speak out of frustration. And don't you dare speak out of folly. Until we speak again, my friends, be blessed.